Hello and welcome to the True Aussie Gamer channel. This is actually my very first episode here. As you can see, we are doing a 10-lap race of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Grand Prix circuit. Now the annoying thing about Forza Motorsport 7, very annoying, is that I've gone and set this race for IndyCar only. But as you'll see here, right there is still a previous generation IndyCar. Now, as we start, you can see that I get a very terrible restart because of the current generation. Going down into turn 1 now, see if we go for the dive bomb. We attempt it, but the AI blocks us off. Now, this is obviously the unbeatable level AI. One thing you will notice a lot during this video is that I will be using second gear, not first, to get out of the corners. That's because on a controller with no traction control, when it's been a very long time since I've last played Forza Motorsport 7, I am a little bit, well, off my game with using the traction control. AI tries to make a dive bomb and I block them off there. Very well done, although contact was made. That's not exactly ideal. Getting a little sideways through that section there. Coming out onto the oval before we go back in. Now you can see that the line does say to brake. I don't do that there, which is where I tend to get a lot of my time back off the AI. Little cheat corner cut there. Now during this, if you do hear a fan start going, it's probably just my laptop complaining that I'm running too many applications because it likes to do that. Stupid old MacBooks. Coming back through turn 1 here, lap 2. Made a big gain coming out of that last section there, sector 3. Now this corner I've not figured out at all. I am absolutely terrible coming off of it. I have not figured out the braking point for it. I'm absolutely atrocious in that corner. So, coming down into this next corner after the straight, you can see that I gained a lot of time in braking with this generation, but not a lot of time coming out of the corner. So I will be using that to my advantage, especially this tiny little bit on the oval up here, where I don't brake and the AI still decides to brake even though it's on the unbeatable AI difficulty, which you'll see later causes a bit of chaos. Now, of course, with Forza's damage model, nothing actually happens. Coming out of this corner a little wide, getting a little sideways as we come back onto the oval section. Just sizing it up, see if we can go for a dive bomb into turn 1. Do we choose to? No, yes, no, maybe, okay, no. The AI decides to block our line. Obviously contact is made, but due to Forza 7, there is no damage. Maybe some visual, but obviously I haven't checked. Very poor line through turn 3 there, or turn 4. Sorry. Coming down the straight here, you can see that there's a very big gap there. I actually can see down in the bottom left corner that I'm running distance instead of a map. This was because before I recorded this, I was being an absolute idiot and decided to try and do a 12-hour endurance race around the Mount Panorama circuit. Coincidentally, and there's the contact that I was talking about earlier, but yeah, coincidentally in an IndyCar, this very IndyCar in fact, which I even tuned to try and get the most out of it. Okay, coming back out onto the oval now. You can see that we do get a fair bit sideways there. We're pushing it very, very hard through that section, trying to make the most out of it, because you can tell that whenever the AI gets onto the oval, when there's a braking zone in that driving line, they tend to brake. Now the AI got a pretty okay run out of that corner, but so did I. Attempted to go for the dive bomb, but got really sideways, lost the back end there, lost the back end again coming out of the corner. Just fly over that curb there. Go flat out down this back straight. Now, once once again, the AI has gapped us by almost 100 meters, as you can see, but very quickly we gain that back in the braking zone. Trying to get the move done here, a little bit of understeer, now some more oversteer. This car is very lively. Good thing I have decent controllers, you can actually feel it. Going for the dive bomb into this section here, and we make, oh, do we make it stick? Not quite. Taking the wide line through that corner, the AI squeezes us right up onto the curb, but we get the move done. Very good job there indeed. Now at this point I'm just watching that mirror there, seeing where the AI is going to go. They're catching up very quickly, and they tried to go for a move, but they don't have enough. It's sort of a half-hearted plunge there. And once again, it was okay this time. Now you can see in the bottom right corner where my speedo is and everything else, you can see that I've worn the tyres out a fair bit, especially the rears. At this point they're already dying, which makes things just a whole lot more difficult. A lot of understeer going in that corner, probably overshot it a tiny bit. Massive oversteer moment going through there, but it did actually help me get through that corner. And then a terrible oversteer moment really slowed me up coming out of that corner, right on my tail. And once again, we gap them using that little advantage there in the AI coding. Coming back out, ready to get onto the oval here once again. As you can see, I have gapped the AI by 70 meters, getting a little lively once again. That will probably happen every single lap. Honestly, it's pretty terrible. Lap 6 now. Pretty alright. Down into turn 1. Go very wide. That was terrible. I went too deep trying to get away from the AI there. Into this corner once again. Pretty wide line, but I decided to try and use a late apex going into there. Seemed to do okay. Now you can see that we've really gapped the AI now about 100 meters. As to what that is in seconds, I have no clue, don't ask. Nice and calm going through this section here. Very calm and smooth. Terrible line through there, went very wide because the curb's spitting me out the wrong way. And back out onto the oval section. There really isn't that much interesting in this race, except for the start. That was probably the most interesting bit of it all. Bit of a wide line through there, got some understeer, probably just track characteristics, not so much going too fast. A little bit of oversteer on the exit there. Coming out, get a snap of oversteer, more oversteer, and I actually hit the wall. It slows me right up, but the AI comes in right behind me and has to slow up as well. Now it's a group of 3. So now coming into turn 1, the AI decides to make a lunge and go for it, but they're on the outside line for turn 2 and it doesn't work. I'm now having another moment, getting oversteer and understeer on entry and making a very wide line and even oversteer on exit. Jeez. I am well out of it in this one. Now you can see I'm just checking the damage from that contact with the wall. Doesn't appear to be anything. Just a tiny bit of engine damage from me over-revving the engine. The red line and rev limiter on this Indy car are very, very close together, so you can't really over-rev it too much. Coming back out. Now at this point I have gapped the AI again. You'll see that a lot, that I tend to gap the AI, but then they catch me back up. That's just car and track characteristics. Again, lively through that section. That is always going to happen. Just checking that damage again, as you can see, 0.6 on the engine from over-revving. Now, one thing you should know is that I am running on a standard Xbox controller, pretty old honestly, and I'm running no traction control, manual transmission, no stability actually I think I am running stability management. This one I forgot to change it. No braking assist, no anti-lock brake assist, and yeah, had some recording dramas. The Xbox decided that it didn't want to record that straight and decided, screw you, you shall wait until this corner to get more action. Anyways, it's all good now. So, coming out, we're actually a bit lively going through there for the first time, maybe some contact with the AI. The AI taking a wider line through there, they tend to avoid that curb, I'm not sure why. Once again, cheeky corner cut from that corner there. I tend to corner cut that one quite a lot because you can get a big advantage out of that one. Anyways, coming down straight again, checking the damage and the tyre wear, which obviously, if Lewis were driving this car, Lewis Hamilton, he will be saying, Bono, my tyres are dead. A little bit of understeer coming through the mid part of that corner there. I go a teensy bit wide through there. That's okay. I do get the late apex coming back through. I really do love that chicane. You just go so flat out. You ride those curves a bit like Scott McLaughlin did earlier this week. Well, last week, actually, as of posting this. Because this was on the weekend that Mininapolis happened, hence the name Mininapolis, because there's only a 10-lap race instead of the full lap distance that they did. Coming into this corner, once again going wide, just simply track characteristics. The track really falls away from you, and then you get that really aggressive sort of pop in the road as it dips down, getting a little lively, a little too close to that inside wall than I would like to be. Now as you can see, I've really started to get the AI once again, about 100 meters. So as to seconds, I still don't know how much that is in seconds. That's an okay line going into turn 1 and turn 2 there. Slight bit of oversteer, but easily controlled. Coming up 2, snap of oversteer on the entry to 3. Well, 4, I mean, probably is 4, now that I think about it. Coming through down the back straight, final lap 2 mind you, and it's only been 12 minutes of racing, so it's okay. Coming through this back section here before we head back onto the oval, nice line, a little bit of oversteer on exit, compromises that exit there onto the oval. The AI has caught up a little bit, but that gap is soon to be extended. Hit the wall there, I think, actually. It was only a little love tap of the left front, so not too much of an issue. Won't cause any dramas going onto the front street to finish it. Very sideways there, and just dancing it around in celebration of my victory there. 1 minute 14 fastest lap. It's not too bad, actually. Probably about the best that I've done lately, and as you can see, you've got a mixture of 19th generation Indy cars now. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.